Hey, everybody, it's Chris over at Dixieland Farm, and who do we have here?
DJ Thunder 1970. How you doing?
All right, so I'm doing a joint video. I'm going to get in there. Come on, let's see. There you go. Okay, so I wanted to do a video about this for a long time, and it's taken me forever. So I figured, well, I'm going to have Dave just go, ooh, ah. Okay, this is an LP record. I left it nice and dusty for you so you could see it, okay?
Yikes.
Now, what do we know about LP records? They turn at
33 1/3 RPM.
Okay, so 33 and a third RPM. This thing spins around. Look at the real estate at the beginning of a record. See how long it is?
Yeah.
Right?
The lead in.
Lead in, beginning. There's a lot more space. When you get to the end of a record, it still turns at 33 and a third RPM.
The black hole.
But there is less space for the sound to be recorded, which is why music sounds better at the beginning of an album than at the end of an album. All right? Because there is more physical space to handle the information. It rotates at the same speed regardless. So the circumference is bigger at the beginning of a record and smaller at the end, which is why your 12-inch singles sound great and your 7-inch singles don't, because they are smaller. So they actually hold less music. Now, a CD doesn't have this problem. A CD actually changes speed when you play it. So if we use the Laserdisc terms, back when we had Laserdiscs, there was CAV discs and CLV discs. CAV was constant angular velocity. The thing, one frame was one rotation.
Okay.
Okay, so you could see there's, for one frame, you'd only need like a third of it, and the rest was wasted, which they figured out, and they did a constant linear velocity. So there might only be one frame at the beginning, but there might be 3 frames at the outer edge, and it would change speed to handle it. What does this mean? Well, besides things are going to sound better at the beginning than at the end, a good record producer will know that. So they will put something that is very energetic at the beginning of a record. So when you flip to side 2, all of a sudden you hit with this noise. It's not just to wake you up. It's because it can handle that music. And the quieter stuff usually tended to be at the end of an album. Not because it was like, oh, I'm closing the album quietly. It's because it just sounded better that way to stick it at the end,
Right.
where it doesn't need as much information. Right? So it's not just specific frequencies. It's information. So you know, a metal album is going to sound like a metal album regardless, but it'll actually degrade in sound as you get, you know, closer in. So, we're taking the classic, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Elton John. You don't have this record? Get this record.
Yeah.
All right? Record producers, right? We start off with Funeral for a Friend with all that organ, and all right, so it's all going, right? And then what does it end with? It ends with Benny and the Jets. Now, Benny and the Jets is, while rock, it's not really a powerhouse. And the cheap organ, you can actually hear it kind of crap out. It gets a little staticky, which works for that song.
Right.
It's at the end of the side, so it's got less information the record can handle. Open up with Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, which is not that, you know, energetic, but then the song, Gray Seal, and then we end with I Seen This Movie Too, slightly slow. Well, you should get this album. It's a good album. So side 3, we start with Sweet Painted Lady, and we end with All the Girls Love Alice, which also is, you know, it adds to the atmosphere, but it's, you know, not crazy cymbals and stuff, even though it's, you know, there's sirens, but you can actually hear them kind of break up, you know, which is
right.
And then what do we start with? Your Sister Can't Twist, but she can rock and roll, upbeat, really fast, energetic. Then into Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting, and then it ends with Harmony. Harmony and me, pretty good company. It was a big hit. You should really listen to this album. All right, so that was just one example. Take a look at your records, your favorite records, and see, you know, was that taken into account? It's not always taken into account. I mean, artistic vision, you know, matters. So sometimes the order is the order. But Lily will tell you. You check it out. Check it out, all right? Say goodbye. Lily, say goodbye. No? That's it. Okay.